Hello, IB English students. Welcome to the video for week 3, day 2. This video is designed for students who were absent from our live Zoom class. There will be a message that'll pop up later in this video for you to write in some questions, comments, and concerns. Please make sure that you keep that school appropriate. Our agenda during our regular class was I went over the IA outline for stamped one-on-one conferences procedures. We talked about the exam interest survey, the learner portfolio setup, the learner portfolio entry for the stamped IA outline that you did. And that entry will be due by midnight on Friday. And then the DIRT sample and prep sheet for the things they carried, which I will go over in a minute or two. So first, as far as the one-on-one conferences, the way it works during class is I had students go into an individual breakout room or small group breakout rooms. We spent 2 to 3 minutes kind of conferencing about the comments or the feedback that I gave you on your outlines. And then basically talking about the structure of next week's 3-minute mock IA for stamped, which I will go over with you later in this video. If you have questions about any of the comments that I made in the margins of your IA outline for stamped, please use the comment section on the Google Doc itself to send those to me. And then just as a kind of heads up, some of the stuff that we discussed during our conversation in these breakout rooms was stuff that might be eligible for you to use in your actual learner portfolio entry. All right, so let's talk about the portfolio reflection for stamped. Reading through the directions, it says select any 3 questions to respond to in the charts below. And I've organized the questions by area of exploration and included a general question section. So here you see the area of exploration, readers, writers, and text, right? You can select one of these. You can select any number of these 6 questions to respond to and write your response there. Or I made another section for the time and space area of exploration. Right? Those are those questions you could answer in that space. And then there's the general questions that you could also respond to. It doesn't matter to me if you do one from each chart, if you do all 3 from one area of exploration, etc. I just wanted to give you as many options as possible for your reflection. Each of your responses that you write needs to be at least 100 of your own words. Quotes from the text don't count towards that word count, but you are highly encouraged to quote the text to help you illustrate your point and to focus your reflection. So please be mindful of that. And I will be paying very close attention to the word count. So basically, while I was conferencing with people in those breakout rooms, students were working on these items. You need to complete the exam interest survey. You need to watch the learner portfolio setup video, which is about 3 minutes. It shows you how to complete the assignment where you're going to share that folder with me. And then you had time to do either 3 or 4, depending on which one made more sense given where you were in the conferences. You could start writing your portfolio entries for stamped. Again, those are due by midnight on Friday. Or you could watch the DIRT explanation video where I go over the structure of the DIRT. DYRT stands for Did You Read This test, as well as best practices to prepare and whatnot. And then I also have a 10-minute sample video of basically like me taking my own test and showing you what I want you to be able to do when it comes time for you to take that test, which will not be next week, but the week after. If you take a look at the syllabus, it's day 1 of week 5. And then it says, begin working on the DIRT prep sheet for the things they carried. And I'll talk about that in a second. But basically, it's all on Canvas. All those items that I just mentioned that need to be done are listed there, including, the PDF version of the things they carried for you to go back and read different sections when you need to. The only thing that I didn't have ready for class is the actual DIRT prep sheet for the things they carried, but that will be done by 7 p.m. on Thursday at the absolute latest. And I'll send out an announcement about that as well. Okay, So then what we discussed in the actual conference, right, were any questions about the feedback that I gave you. And again, please just put that in the comment section on the assignment itself on Canvas. But more importantly, I wanted to go over the structure of how these 3-minute, very short practice IAs are going to go. You're going to first start off by reading an opening script, right? And, it will basically follow this format that you see, right? My name is, insert your name. And today I will be analyzing the text stamped by Ibram X. Kendi, right? And right, give the title of that second cartoon, or give the fact that it is a cartoon, or whatever other source that you may have chosen to use, and then give that author's name as well. After you've basically said this, and this will be the way everybody kind of starts their IA exams. Later in the year, we'll be adding in your IB candidate number, but we don't have that right now. The next step is to provide context, summary, or a thesis, right? Either tell us what was going on when those texts were constructed, summarize the text very quickly in 2 to 3 sentences if it makes sense to do that, and or kind of read your thesis out to us, right? And that thesis should be, there should be a very clear link and statement about how this analysis is going to focus on that global issue. Which global issue, and more specifically, a narrowed focus. And then normally you would proceed in chronological order, from top to bottom of your texts, and your in that order. But because our practice next week is only going to be a 3-minute practice, what I'll ask you to do is just basically select one key aspect or one key point from your outline that you want to focus on or practice, right? So it'll be read the opening script, give the context, summary, and thesis, and then go right into whatever you think is your strongest point, or the point that you want to practice trying to articulate or make. All right, and that's it. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me, and I look forward to seeing you in class next week.